What's up, everybody? This is Dan from The Greatest Story Ever Played, and today I'm just going to talk a little bit about the 7th issue from the Life is Strange comic. So, I guess with that, we will jump into the recap. So, the issue begins with a drug deal that's going on in LA. There's 2 high schoolers who are buying drugs from, I think, 3 or 4 drug dealers, and they are short on money. While the kind of disagreement or uncertainty is going on in the drug deal, you start to hear police sirens in the background. You see the flashing lights, you hear them. The drug dealers at first think, no, this isn't about us, and then they're like, oh shit, it is about us. Then one of the kids disappears. It turns out that Tristan and his friend are these kids, and Tristan just disappears suddenly. He's just gone. When this happens, everyone's confused. The drug dealers are like, what the fuck? Where'd he go? Tristan's friend is like, you bastard, you ditched me. And then the drug dealer shoots Tristan's friend. It looked like Tristan's friend was going to try to steal the drugs and run. He gets shot. The police show up, and they see that a kid got killed in a drug deal. Tristan's actually there crying in the corner, but no one can see or hear him. So that's pretty crazy. He's there, but he's not there. After this, it cuts over to Max's room, and it was Tristan telling this story to Max. That this is how his powers had come about. Max says, I'm sorry that this happened to you, like, that sounds so horrible, that sort of thing. Tristan tells her that he isn't invisible, but he's able to disengage from reality. That he can see it, but he's no longer a part of it. Which would explain, you know, being at the shooting, or at the drug deal gone bad, and not being found. You know, he was crying and saying his friend's name, and no one could hear him, and no one could see him. So he's able to disengage from reality. This is a pretty interesting power, pretty different than Max's rewind, of course. So pretty crazy, pretty wild. Then Tristan asks Max, what's your story? What makes you go different? We see the clock go by 2 hours, so they've been talking a long time. At this point, Rachel and Chloe get home, and Rachel knocks on Max's door to invite her to this influencer party that her and Chloe are going to go to. After a few seconds of not responding, Max and Tristan come out, and they say hi. As Tristan leaves, he asks Max, have you thought about if we're both just crazy? And Max says, yeah, I have. And so Tristan knows Max has gone a few years at this point without telling anyone about everything that happened in the games, and her life with Chloe since, I guess, post-Bay and all the time stuff, and then even the few years that the comic has been right now. This is the first time that she's unloaded all of that to someone, which is cool that it could finally happen. And even finding someone who can immensely relate, I think that's kind of cool too. At this point, yeah, Tristan leaves and Max comes back in, and Max tries to play it cool. She's like, so what's the dress code? Chloe and Rachel, though, are confused, of course. They're like, what? You can't just not talk about this. Like, that's the guy. What do you mean? What's going on? And Max tries to not talk to them about it. She says, Chloe, because, last issue, Chloe had said, if you ever need to talk, come to me. Like, I want to be there for you, kind of thing. And Max, in this instance, says, Chloe, sometimes it's easier to share things with a stranger than with someone you love. And then Chloe says, I don't understand, and slams the door to her room and goes in there. So, some relational trouble. After this, Max tells Rachel that she doesn't want to hurt them. She's talking to Rachel and is trying to communicate, like, I've got this going on and I'm hurting, but I don't want to hurt you guys. Rachel tells her 2 things. One thing she says is that Rachel's dad lying to them led to her getting hurt anyway. And when she found out later, it really changed things. And so being lied to is worse, having that held back. And then Rachel also comments and says, Chloe wears her heart pretty close to her skin. It means she's very easy to love, but it also means she's very easy to hurt. And then Rachel encourages Max to take her time. It's fine. You don't have to say anything right away. But you should share things as soon as you can. You don't want to wait forever on this kind of thing. So, yeah, that's kind of their conversation. Now we cut over to the party. At the party, Rachel, Chloe, and Max roll up, and they meet some of Rachel's friends. The panel where they roll up is cool. They all look really nice and cool. Definitely look really nice to go to this party, so I like that. I thought that panel looked cool. And they meet some of Rachel's friends. They get some drink tickets, that kind of deal. Then we cut over to Tristan on the way to the party. And he's like, does an invisible guy want to go to a party kind of attitude kind of thing. And he's got the flyer from Max, so he's feeling kind of back and forth. And as he's walking, he's like, oh, well, maybe they'll have food at least. If they got food, that would be good, since I just steal food to survive, essentially, since I'm not a part of reality anymore. On the way, he finds a backpack, and it looks like it's got food on top, so he's like, oh, cool, I found some food. And as he digs through it further, he realizes, oh shit, this is drugs. I found drugs. This isn't good. This isn't good. We go back to the party. Max and Chloe are talking because Rachel went away to mingle, and they comment that they both used to be really good at being friends, and that it sucks that it's not what it once was. Kind of recognizing that. And at this point, Max is about to tell Chloe the truth. She's like, all right, I've got to tell you about everything. But a scream goes out, and someone says, call 911. We see that one of Rachel's friends has OD'd, so Max grabs her phone and runs outside and says, I'll call. Reception's better outside, I'll call. So Max is running outside, calling 911. On her way outside, she makes it. She finishes her call with the police that they're going to come and help. And she sees people outside pointing a gun towards someone. Max yells no and reaches out her hand. It's rewind time. So that's the issue. Big cliffhanger, of course. Can Max's powers work? Will she save probably Tristan, it seems. We'll see. Definitely kind of wild. A couple sort of general thoughts I have on the issue at large. The first one is that I like that Max has someone else with powers to relate to. I mentioned this in the beginning, but I do really like this. I think that Max has felt, especially alone the past couple years in being in this new timeline. Even before that, I think she felt alone in a different way. She was with Chloe. She did have that, but how she hurt reality or felt she hurt reality, that was there. And so I like that she has someone who has gone through something as well, and also has powers, but they're not the norm for the world or whatever, and so that she can relate on that and share in that. So I like that she found Tristan, and this issue has me feeling more favorable on Tristan. I was a little unsure what we were getting into when he showed up, or if it would be cool or helpful or whatever, but so far I think I like it. I think this is a good thing. Something also I noticed is that Tristan's powers were brought along by trauma. So this theme continues, of course. So seeing Tristan with powers, seeing Max with powers, and in Life is Strange 2, seeing Daniel with powers. That there's something in this universe where a certain type of trauma can trigger this superpower of some nature for some people in it. And I think that's a cool idea. I like the idea a lot. I liked it in previous ones, but this link of trauma and superpowers is pretty interesting, and wanting to, I don't know, either save people or that sort of thing. It's interesting. It doesn't seem like it's something that's yeah, that it comes about that way. So I like that. I think that's cool. I like that we got Tristan's origin story, so to speak. The next kind of bigger thing for me is I'm not really sure how this arc is going to get wrapped up. So issue 8's coming out in a few weeks, and that will wrap up this arc, which I believe is called Waves. I don't remember 100%, but I'm pretty sure it's Waves, because Dust was 1 through 4, so I'm pretty sure this is Waves. Anyway, I'm not sure how they're going to wrap this up in this. I don't know what they're going to be able to do in the, I don't know, 20 pages or whatever it is, to be able to do that. But I'm eager to see it, for sure. I guess my one thing is I imagine Max is going to have to be honest here, that she's going to be telling Chloe and Rachel about what's really going on. I don't know if Tristan will be able to maybe travel with her to a different reality or something like that. Maybe that could help cure something in his real reality, or in a different one. Or I don't really know. I'm not sure how that will quite work. I'm eager to see it though. And last time we recorded here, I was speculating whether or not I wanted to just read the 4-issue arcs. So whatever is after Waves, whatever the next, so what 9 through 12 is. If I want to do those as singles like I have been, or do them as a collection. And I've decided I want to do them as a collection. I think that just getting a full arc, that is nice. I do like the anticipation factor. Like, it is fun speculating, but I think being able to just talk about a bigger arc each time and going through that, I think that would give, I don't know, something a little stronger, a little better, something like that. Because I think that just on an issue-to-issue basis, there's probably some issues where there would be less to theorize on and some that are more. And so I think that just getting the 4-issue chunk is the way to go. So when I record on issue 8, I'll say this again, but then from there I will be doing them in their chunks when they're the trade paperbacks of the 4 issues at once. And I have seen online, it seems like a lot of people are reading that way rather than single issues at a time. So that's kind of my plan going forward. I did see that they already have covers for issue 9, and they got picked up for the next arc. So I suspect that they're going to keep getting picked up for following arcs as people keep buying them. So hopefully people do, and if they do, then I want to keep talking about them in those kind of chunks in the trade paperback arcs. So yeah, that's I guess that's all I've got for issue 7. So if you have any thoughts or whatever, please email in at TheGreatestStoryEverPlayed@gmail.com, or talk to us on Twitter at StoryEverPod, and we can dialogue more about the comic, or whatever games you're interested in. That would be cool too. And yeah, see you next time.